Question 1. What legal requirements must law enforcement officers follow when conducting searches in Massachusetts? A. Obtaining a warrant is always required. B. Probable cause is sufficient for searches without a warrant. C. Searches without a warrant are prohibited. D. Adhering to specific exceptions outlined in Massachusetts search and seizure laws. Correct answer. D. Adhering to specific exceptions outlined in Massachusetts search and seizure laws. Explanation. In Massachusetts, law enforcement officers must adhere to specific exceptions outlined in state search and seizure laws, such as consent, exigent circumstances, or incident to a lawful arrest, to conduct searches without a warrant. Question 2. What role does integrity play in maintaining public trust in Massachusetts law enforcement? A. Undermining public confidence. B. Upholding honesty and moral principles. C. Disregarding ethical standards. D. Ignoring community feedback. Correct answer. B. Upholding honesty and moral principles. Explanation. Integrity in Massachusetts law enforcement involves upholding honesty, moral principles, and ethical standards, which are essential for maintaining public trust, confidence, and legitimacy in policing. Question 3. How can law enforcement officers in Massachusetts effectively engage with diverse communities? A. By implementing one-size-fits-all approaches. B. By ignoring community concerns. C. By fostering open communication and building partnerships. D. By enforcing strict regulations. Correct answer. C. By fostering open communication and building partnerships. Explanation. Effectively engaging with diverse communities in Massachusetts requires law enforcement officers to foster open communication, build partnerships, and address community concerns collaboratively, promoting trust and cooperation. Question 4. Officer Martinez responds to a domestic violence call. What procedures should Officer Martinez follow to ensure the safety of all parties involved? A. Take immediate action without assessing the situation. B. Ignore the call and leave the scene. C. Assess the situation, separate individuals if necessary, and provide assistance. D. Engage in physical confrontation immediately. Correct answer. C. Assess the situation, separate individuals if necessary, and provide assistance. Explanation. In domestic violence situations, officers should assess the situation, separate individuals if necessary to prevent further harm, and provide assistance or referrals to support services, prioritizing the safety and well-being of all parties involved. Question 5. How does law enforcement contribute to the Massachusetts legal process? A. By influencing legislative decisions. B. By enforcing court orders. C. By disregarding individual rights. D. By neglecting legal standards. Correct answer. B. By enforcing court orders. Explanation. Law enforcement in Massachusetts contributes to the legal process by enforcing court orders, upholding the law, ensuring public safety, and facilitating the administration of justice within the framework of the Massachusetts legal system. Question 6. What are the penalties for violating DUI laws in Massachusetts? A. Verbal warning. B. License suspension and fines. C. Community service. D. Public recognition. Correct answer. B. License suspension and fines. Explanation. Violating DUI laws in Massachusetts can result in penalties such as license suspension, fines, mandatory alcohol education programs, and imprisonment, aimed at deterring impaired driving and promoting road safety. Question 7. Why is critical thinking important for law enforcement officers in Massachusetts? A. To ignore community feedback. B. To prioritize personal interests. C. To assess situations objectively and make informed decisions. D. To enforce strict regulations. Correct answer. C. To assess situations objectively and make informed decisions. Explanation. Critical thinking enables law enforcement officers in Massachusetts to assess situations objectively, analyze complex issues, consider alternative solutions, and make informed decisions that uphold public safety and respect individual rights. Question 8. How can law enforcement agencies in Massachusetts promote inclusivity and equity in their interactions with diverse communities? A. By fostering biases and discrimination. B. By ignoring cultural differences. C. By recognizing and addressing biases. D. By enforcing strict immigration policies. Correct answer. C. By recognizing and addressing biases. Explanation. Law enforcement agencies in Massachusetts can promote inclusivity and equity by recognizing and addressing biases, fostering cultural competence, and adopting inclusive practices that respect and reflect the diversity of the communities they serve. Question 9. What are some safety protocols that law enforcement officers in Massachusetts must follow when handling firearms? A. Store firearms improperly. B. Disregard firearm safety protocols. C. Maintain proficiency and undergo regular training. D. Ignore legal regulations. Correct answer. C. Maintain proficiency and undergo regular training. Explanation. Law enforcement officers in Massachusetts must follow safety protocols such as maintaining proficiency, undergoing regular training, and storing firearms securely to prevent accidents and ensure responsible firearm use. Question 10. Officer Thompson responds to a protest where tensions are escalating. How should Officer Thompson manage the situation? A. Use aggressive tactics to disperse the crowd. B. Ignore the protest and leave the scene. C. Communicate with protesters and de-escalate tensions. D. Engage in physical confrontation immediately. Correct answer. C. Communicate with protesters and de-escalate tensions. Explanation. Managing a protest in Massachusetts requires effective communication, de-escalation tactics, and respect for individuals' rights to peaceful assembly and freedom of expression. Officer Thompson should prioritize dialogue and non-confrontational strategies to maintain public safety and uphold constitutional rights. Question 11. What are Miranda rights, and when do they apply in Massachusetts? A. Rights guaranteed to law enforcement officers. B. Rights of the accused during police interrogation. C. Rights specific to traffic violations. D. Rights of crime victims. Correct answer. B. Rights of the accused during police interrogation. Explanation. Miranda rights in Massachusetts refer to the rights of the accused during police interrogation, including the right to remain silent and the right to legal representation, and they apply when the individual is in police custody and subject to interrogation. Question 12. How does the Code of Ethics for Massachusetts law enforcement officers address integrity? A. By encouraging dishonest behavior. B. By prioritizing personal interests. C. By upholding honesty and moral principles. D. By disregarding ethical standards. Correct answer. C. By upholding honesty and moral principles. Explanation. The Code of Ethics for Massachusetts law enforcement officers emphasizes integrity by upholding honesty, moral principles, and ethical standards in all aspects of policing, promoting trust and accountability within the community. Question 13. What role does collaboration with local organizations play in Massachusetts community policing? A. It hinders communication with the community. B. It promotes distrust among community members. C. It fosters partnerships and addresses community concerns. D. It ignores community feedback. Correct answer. C. It fosters partnerships and addresses community concerns. Explanation. Collaboration with local organizations in Massachusetts community policing fosters partnerships, promotes understanding of community needs and concerns, and facilitates joint efforts to address shared challenges, enhancing public trust and cooperation. Question 14. Officer Davis encounters a situation where a suspect is resisting arrest. How should Officer Davis handle the situation? A. Use excessive force to subdue the suspect. B. Ignore the resistance and leave the scene. C. Use only the necessary force to effect the arrest and ensure safety. D. Engage in physical confrontation immediately. Correct answer. C. Use only the necessary force to effect the arrest and ensure safety. Explanation. In situations where a suspect is resisting arrest in Massachusetts, officers should use only the necessary force to effect the arrest and ensure the safety of all parties involved, avoiding excessive force and prioritizing de-escalation tactics. Question 15. How do local and state laws impact law enforcement operations in Massachusetts? A. They have no impact on law enforcement operations. B. They provide guidelines for ethical conduct. C. They define the scope of law enforcement authority and responsibilities. D. They promote discriminatory practices. Correct answer. C. They define the scope of law enforcement authority and responsibilities. Explanation. Local and state laws in Massachusetts define the scope of law enforcement authority and responsibilities, outline legal requirements and procedures, and provide guidelines for ensuring public safety and upholding the law. Question 16. What is the process for issuing citations for traffic violations in Massachusetts? A. Issuing citations without cause. B. Following specific procedures outlined in Massachusetts traffic laws. C. Disregarding traffic regulations. D. Ignoring traffic violations. Correct answer. B. Following specific procedures outlined in Massachusetts traffic laws. Explanation. Issuing citations for traffic violations in Massachusetts involves following specific procedures outlined in state traffic laws, including documenting the violation, issuing the citation to the violator, and providing information on how to contest the citation. Question 17. How does critical thinking contribute to effective policing in Massachusetts? A. By disregarding community feedback. B. By prioritizing personal interests. C. By analyzing situations objectively and making informed decisions. D. By enforcing strict regulations. Correct answer. C. By analyzing situations objectively and making informed decisions. Explanation. Critical thinking in Massachusetts policing involves analyzing situations objectively, considering various factors and perspectives, and making informed decisions that promote public safety, respect individual rights, and address community needs and concerns. Question 18. Why is cultural diversity awareness important for law enforcement officers in Massachusetts? A. To promote discriminatory practices. B. To disregard community needs. C. To recognize and respect cultural differences. D. To enforce strict immigration policies. Correct answer. C. To recognize and respect cultural differences. Explanation. Cultural diversity awareness in Massachusetts policing is important for law enforcement officers to recognize and respect cultural differences, foster inclusivity, and build trust and positive relationships with diverse communities. Question 19. What are some legal considerations in the use of firearms by law enforcement officers in Massachusetts? A. Disregarding firearm safety protocols. B. Following specific guidelines outlined in Massachusetts firearm laws. C. Ignoring legal regulations. D. Engaging in unauthorized firearm use. Correct answer. B. Following specific guidelines outlined in Massachusetts firearm laws. Explanation. Law enforcement officers in Massachusetts must follow specific guidelines outlined in state firearm laws, including requirements for training, use of force, and firearm safety protocols, to ensure legal and responsible firearm use. Question 20. Officer Rodriguez responds to a mental health crisis call. How should Officer Rodriguez handle the situation? A. Disregard the mental health concerns and leave the scene. B. Use force to subdue the individual. C. Communicate calmly and de-escalate the situation. D. Engage in physical confrontation immediately. Correct answer. C. Communicate calmly and de-escalate the situation. Explanation. Handling a mental health crisis call in Massachusetts requires effective communication, empathy, and de-escalation tactics. Officer Rodriguez should prioritize calming the situation, assessing the individual's needs, and coordinating with mental health professionals to ensure a safe and appropriate response. Question 21. What are the legal requirements for obtaining a search warrant in Massachusetts? A. No specific requirements. B. Probable cause and a signed affidavit. C. Suspicions are sufficient. D. Warrant not necessary for searches. Correct answer. B. Probable cause and a signed affidavit. Explanation. In Massachusetts, obtaining a search warrant requires probable cause, supported by a signed affidavit detailing the evidence justifying the search, as mandated by the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and Massachusetts state law. Question 22. How does the Massachusetts Law Enforcement Code of Ethics address integrity? A. By promoting dishonesty. B. By disregarding ethical standards. C. By upholding honesty and moral principles. D. By ignoring community concerns. Correct answer. C. By upholding honesty and moral principles. Explanation. The Massachusetts Law Enforcement Code of Ethics emphasizes integrity by upholding honesty, moral principles, and ethical standards in all aspects of policing, fostering trust and professionalism. Question 23. Why is building partnerships with diverse communities essential for effective policing in Massachusetts? A. To prioritize personal interests. B. To promote discriminatory practices. C. To foster trust and cooperation. D. To disregard community feedback. Correct answer. C. To foster trust and cooperation. Explanation. Building partnerships with diverse communities in Massachusetts is essential for effective policing as it fosters trust, cooperation, and collaboration, enhances public safety, and addresses community needs and concerns collectively. Question 24. Officer Rivera encounters a situation where a suspect is armed but compliant. How should Officer Rivera proceed? A. Use lethal force immediately. B. Ignore the suspect's compliance and escalate the situation. C. Maintain distance, establish verbal communication, and de-escalate. D. Engage in physical confrontation immediately. Correct answer. C. Maintain distance, establish verbal communication, and de-escalate. Explanation. In such situations, Officer Rivera should prioritize de-escalation by maintaining distance, establishing verbal communication, and using non-lethal tactics to manage the situation safely and effectively. Question 25. How do law enforcement officers contribute to the Massachusetts legal process? A. By disregarding individual rights. B. By promoting discriminatory practices. C. By upholding the law and ensuring public safety. D. By ignoring legal standards. Correct answer. C. By upholding the law and ensuring public safety. Explanation. Law enforcement officers contribute to the Massachusetts legal process by upholding the law, ensuring public safety, enforcing court orders, and facilitating the administration of justice within the framework of the legal system. Question 26. What role does enforcement play in promoting road safety in Massachusetts? A. To disregard traffic regulations. B. To enforce strict regulations selectively. C. To ensure compliance with traffic laws and reduce accidents. D. To ignore traffic violations. Correct answer. C. To ensure compliance with traffic laws and reduce accidents. Explanation. Enforcement of traffic laws in Massachusetts plays a crucial role in promoting road safety by ensuring compliance with traffic regulations, deterring reckless behavior, and reducing accidents and injuries on the roads. Question 27. Why is it important for law enforcement officers in Massachusetts to consider the potential consequences of their actions? A. To disregard community feedback. B. To prioritize personal interests. C. To minimize harm and ensure public safety. D. To enforce strict regulations. Correct answer. C. To minimize harm and ensure public safety. Explanation. Considering the potential consequences of their actions allows law enforcement officers in Massachusetts to minimize harm, ensure public safety, and make informed decisions that uphold the law and respect individual rights. Question 28. How can law enforcement agencies in Massachusetts address biases in their interactions with diverse communities? A. By fostering biases and discrimination. B. By ignoring cultural differences. C. By recognizing and addressing biases. D. By enforcing strict immigration policies. Correct answer. C. By recognizing and addressing biases. Explanation. Law enforcement agencies in Massachusetts can address biases by recognizing and addressing them, promoting cultural competence, and adopting inclusive practices that respect and reflect the diversity of the communities they serve. Question 29. What are the legal requirements for firearm training and qualification for law enforcement officers in Massachusetts? A. No specific requirements. B. Minimal training without qualification standards. C. Rigorous training and regular qualification standards. D. Ignoring legal regulations. Correct answer. C. Rigorous training and regular qualification standards. Explanation. Law enforcement officers in Massachusetts must undergo rigorous firearm training and meet regular qualification standards as mandated by state law to ensure safe and responsible firearm use. Question 30. Officer Santos responds to a call involving a mentally unstable individual. How should Officer Santos approach the situation? A. Disregard the individual's mental state and use force. B. Ignore the call and leave the scene. C. Communicate calmly, assess the situation, and coordinate with mental health professionals. D. Engage in physical confrontation immediately. Correct answer. C. Communicate calmly, assess the situation, and coordinate with mental health professionals. Explanation. Responding to a call involving a mentally unstable individual in Massachusetts requires effective communication, empathy, and coordination with mental health professionals to ensure a safe and appropriate response while respecting the individual's rights and dignity.